I'm back. I know it's been a long time, but I'm finally back to YouTube and we're going to start making videos again. Obviously, with everything that's been going on in the world, I had to take a break and take care of what I could here in New York. If you're new here, my name is RescueRandy and this is my YouTube channel that focuses on all things EMS. And here's my intro. Thanks for tuning in, all you death fighters. This is basically going to be an update video to let you know what's been going on since my last video. Firstly, I want to thank everyone who took the time out to watch Burnout. It was a really special project for me. I had a lot of fun making it, and hopefully I was able to convey the message I wanted to with that video. A few people messaged me asking me how I make my videos and how I made Burnout specifically, so maybe I'll do an update on that in a future video. Secondly, I want to apologize for not making any videos since January, but being an essential worker, I was essentially working. So let's get into it. Being in New York, we were obviously hit incredibly hard by the pandemic, and all of us EMS workers here were just grinding out work day in and day out. The jobs were incredibly difficult, the hours felt longer, and just some of the stuff we saw was just, you can't really even describe it. One of the really big saving graces during that time were the out-of-state death fighters that came in from all around the country. They left their friends, they left their families, they came into an unfamiliar place to tirelessly do this job, and it's just incredible what they did. I can't thank them enough. I did get sick at one point. Luckily it didn't last very long. After the fact, I did get tested and it shows that I do have antibodies and I have been donating plasma. So hopefully that stuff will go to people who can't bounce back as quickly as I did. Let's be clear about one thing before I continue. COVID-19 is still a major problem out there. So as of today, July 7th, it's still a problem all around the country. So don't take it lightly. If you have surgical masks, wear them. N95s, wear them. Goggles, eye protection of any kind, and definitely gown up and glove up. You have to do it. It's the only way to keep yourself safe, keep your family safe. Now, in your personal life, that means you also still have to maintain those little rules, right? So maintain your social distancing, wear a mask if you're gonna go out into a public space, and just avoid like big social gatherings. From all the stuff that we saw out there, it was just something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So stay safe. I'm going to give you a little bit of information that I learned along the way, some signs and symptoms of the patients I encountered. Now, first of all, this is not medical gospel. This is just me telling you my experiences. You may never experience this, but maybe you will, so hopefully it helps. I did actually release this information maybe about 2 months ago on a different social media platform, but maybe it's still relevant now. First thing you're going to notice is that your patients are going to have low oxygen saturations. I'm talking like 60s, 70s, and they're not going to really show any signs about it. They're going to be walking, talking fine, not AMS, not cyanotic, clear lung sounds, and sometimes they're not even going to show shortness of breath. Other vital sign things you might see is tachypnea and hypotension. Again, they didn't really represent like that. They kind of just look like regular people being totally fine. So take what you will from that one. We actually suspended CPAP at one point just because, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. You put CPAP on somebody, it's gonna just spread everything they have everywhere. So when we were bringing patients to the hospital, the doctors and nurses would take them and pretty much automatically intubate them. On the topic of intubation, for our cardiac arrest patients, when you go in for that tube, you're gonna notice that there is this just thick mucus, and it's way thicker than you're probably used to. It was just there. No idea. It was gross. And also, in terms of cardiac rhythms, they generally went straight to asystole or some kind of, mainly asystole, but sometimes idioventricular. A couple of stuff that I can't confirm really. People were saying that Motrin was a no-no for treatment. So people were taking Tylenol, taking vitamin C, and then Plaquenil. Now, personally, my symptoms were really, really light in comparison to most people. Rumor mill, it has something to do with the blood types, so I don't know. I experienced some neck pain on my left side down to my shoulder. I actually thought like I pulled something, like it was muscle pain, like rubbing it and stuff, and nothing really fixed it. I also had massive headaches to the point where if I touched the top of my head, it would hurt. It would hurt pretty bad. And I kind of thought these were isolated things that had nothing to do with COVID-19, but after speaking to other people who had COVID-19, they told me they had the exact same signs and symptoms. I don't know. Never heard anything about that in the news. Now, I didn't have a cough, but I did have exertional shortness of breath. If I walked from my living room to my kitchen, I would just be short of breath, and air will come in, go right out, but I just couldn't catch it. It kind of felt like the equivalent of going to a low altitude to a really high altitude, and you're just in this low oxygen environment, just nothing would happen. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely wasn't fun. One of the most amazing sights during this pandemic, though, was just the crowds of people on their balconies, just cheering and clapping for nurses, doctors, EMS personnel, first responders. But it was so weird, it was so different the first time it happened. I'm just taking care of a patient, I go outside, and they're clapping. It's weird. We spend most of our career in this very underappreciated area, and then to have just the masses clap for you and cheer for you, it was surreal. It was definitely something I'm never going to forget. But that's it for now. Ultimately, I just want to say I'm back. I'm going to be making videos again, and I want to thank everyone who sent me comments on my videos and shared my videos and sent me messages between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube itself, obviously. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully I answered all the questions you had, and yeah, keep it right here. We're racing towards that 1,000 subscriber mark right now, so maybe I'll do a commemorative giveaway. But please comment down below. Let me know what your experience with COVID-19 has been thus far. Have you worked in an area where you have a lot of patients with COVID-19 or barely any patients with COVID-19? If you're part of the FEMA Task Force that came to New York to help us out, definitely comment down below so I can thank you, and maybe I'll send you some goodies. And we'll end this video in classic fashion. Like and subscribe if you like the videos I'm creating. Hit the bell notification if you want updates on all my new videos. And stay safe. Rescue Randy, out.